Hello and welcome back to the Common Colt Podcast. A Colts podcast is real takes and no clickbait. I'm Josh Hudgens, joined by Dan Hertzler. What's up, Dan?
Not too much, not too much. Scrolling through the news, not too much going on in Colts world, but there's some big news going on in the NFL that is going to affect Colts world. And I think Jonathan Taylor made reference to it, but we want to talk about this idea of Saquon Barkley and the contract, running back, and JT coming up. This is something I think Colts fans need to be paying attention to. Josh, what's your thoughts on this?
Yeah, obviously Saquon Barkley, I think got franchise tagged by the New York Giants, and running backs as a whole in the NFL seem like they've become a dime a dozen. You know, a lot of teams who win championships don't typically have a top tier running back on the payroll. Now here's the Colts with Jonathan Taylor, a top tier running back. It's like, what do you do, kind of thing. And we give one word reactions to Colts news, and my one word reaction is I'm calm about the situation. There's some people kind of getting worked up over this. They're arguing, oh, we should trade Taylor. We shouldn't trade Taylor. Oh, we need to sign him now. We don't need to sign him now. And you might have an opinion on this, but in my opinion, the Colts are going to get Jonathan Taylor re-signed. And yes, he's one of our best players. And yes, it's a big deal, but I'm not too worried about it. What about you?
I'm not so optimistic as you are there. My one word is difficult, because I think this is a very difficult situation for all sides included, the Indianapolis Colts and for Jonathan Taylor. Let's look. Hey, running backs are an important piece in an NFL team, but as you pointed out, it seems to be replaceable. And on top of that, their shelf life doesn't seem to be very long. So the big question is always comes into what is a fair price for that second contract? Obviously, a running back, like we see with Saquon Barkley, doesn't want to sign the 1-year franchise tag. That doesn't give him the guaranteed money that he's looking for. It doesn't give him the respect that he's looking for. And I think it's going to be the same difficult situation for Jonathan Taylor and the Colts, because you got to ask yourself, not only does he got a lot of carries in the NFL, he's got a lot of carries from college, and how much value is that second contract when maybe we can go out and draft someone. So I'm a lot more nervous, anxious, thinking this is a bigger deal than you do, because I don't know if the Colts can find a number that's going to work. And I think that's the thing we're concerned about is what is that number? So you say, hey, they're going to get it done, but at what cap number is the number concerning? Right now, looks like Barkley's looking at, he's rejected a 14, 15 million. CMC, Christian McCaffrey's, I think the top right now at 16 million. Josh, what's the number that you would give Jonathan Taylor per year?
Well, I think that a lot of players like to quote unquote reset the market. You know, you see with the quarterbacks all the time. You hear with Joe Burrow, you hear maybe Mahomes is going to restructure his contract and get more money. So I do think that Taylor's going to be right up there in the top of the league, top two, 16 million bucks a year number. And I'm still not worried about it. And here's why. When you look at the Colts, you have to understand we're in a different situation than a team like the New York Giants are even. They had to pay Daniel Jones a lot of money. Anthony Richardson is on a rookie contract. And when you have a quarterback who's on a rookie deal, you can afford to do things. And guess what? How long is Anthony Richardson's contract? 4 with a 5th-year option. So all of a sudden, this Jonathan Taylor contract is not going to become a big deal until 4 years down the road. And we're not a championship contender this year anyway. And so the bigger deal is not building this crazy, all well-rounded roster to win a championship. It's giving Anthony Richardson the support that he needs to be efficient and develop. And we have not done that at the wide receiver position. And there's some questions on the offensive line. So now the thought of fans trading Jonathan Taylor early in Anthony Richardson's career just blows my mind. I just do not think it's the right move.
Yeah, you bring up a good counterpoint. I do like the idea that a rookie contract, that's the great way to kind of build your team. And I think you're right when you think about, okay, how long do you want this contract to be? 3-4 years tops. Okay, I would say 3 years is tops. I wouldn't even want to go that 4th year. But I come back to you and say, okay, we have this extra money. Is the running back position the position we want to give that extra money to? I know Jonathan Taylor's a good player. This has nothing to do with him. It's just really more about the way the NFL is structured. You mentioned it. Top teams don't seem to have that great running back They've got some guys that come in for a year or two, kind of hold down the thing, do their part, whether they're a third down back or a power back or a kind of a closer. Those things can be found a lot cheaper. And then you put your money on your pass rush, your secondary, your receivers, your offensive line. If I'm the Colts, I let him play out the contract. I potentially give him a franchise tag and then say, thanks for your service, good luck. I don't think Jonathan Taylor will want to do that. I think he'll want the contract, and that's why I think this is going to be a difficult situation. It's just really hard where the running back position is in the NFL right now.
Well, I think you also have to look at Chris Ballard's track record as the Colts GM. And we know this guy is not going to go out spending big money in free agency. We just know when he's had the cap space, when has he done it? I mean, never. So now we're talking about saving $16 million possibly off the cap. And what kind of player are you really?
It's going to be more. I'm going to stop you right there. It's going to be more than 16 million. That's where it is right now. Barkley's going to reset it. The next guy's going to reset it. But then potentially, I would say you got to look at least 20 million. I think per year.
I'll say 18 to 19 tops, and I'm not even. Let's say 20 million. Let's say 20 million. When has Ballard ever gone out and spent big money on a premier player for more than $20 million a year? That's not a quarterback. I mean, he just doesn't do it. And then you look at what running backs get in trades right now. And McCaffrey was probably the most premier running back in recent memory that got traded. And he got traded to the 49ers, who and the Panthers got a second, third, fourth, and another fifth round pick maybe. And I mean, to me, I see that and I'm like, okay, those assets would have been nice if we had a plan with them. Like we talked about, maybe if you trade Taylor and then you get a premier quarterback with those picks and you package those picks. But now it's like we have our quarterback, so I don't feel as turned on by making a trade like that. So to me, given the fact of what the running back gets from the trade market and knowing Ballard's track record of what he does with money or what he doesn't do with money, I would rather have Jonathan Taylor, who can support our rookie quarterback and see those read options and see what Shane Steichen can do with them.
Well, here's another question I just want to throw out to you. Would you want to do that now and lock him in for the next 3 years, or do you want him to play out this year, see how he bounces back from injury, then sign him? Like again, because if you get him now, maybe get him for a few extra million cheaper. Yeah. You let him play out, and maybe he has a great season again. All of a sudden, he's going to be $5-7 million more, or we find out he is run down and he is kind of falling apart and he can't stay healthy. So. Again, it's difficult. Like not only the question is do we, the question is when do we, and all these questions. I think it's a pretty big deal.
I think the biggest question is when. Like you said, we've seen Jonathan Taylor admit that the Colts are talking contract already. They're trying to get it done. It sounds like. Now we don't know a lot about it, and I think for good reason, because if they get it done now and they beat out Saquon, and I think Jonathan Taylor's going to have a bounce back year this year. He was playing nicked up last year, and I think he's going to have the load taken off of him with Richardson running the rock. I think you get it done now, and you save yourself the money, and maybe, just maybe, you structure the contract to where the guaranteed money is pushed early in his contract. His first year in the contract, guaranteed money, and then later on in the contract, it's less guaranteed.
Hey, the good news is the cap is good right now for the Colts. They can do that. They've got Pittman. They've got some other things that they've got to kind of make some decisions on. But I would be with you. I would love for them even this summer to get a 3-year, say it's going to be, I don't know, 45, 48 million. Maybe it's 15, 16 a year right now. And he gets 30 million guaranteed, man. I think Jonathan Taylor might jump on that. Colts take advantage of the rookie contract with the quarterback and use some of this cap space now and take advantage of that. But this is interesting. And I think Colts fans, we got to pay attention to what's going on with Barkley, see what he does, because I think that's going to have a direct effect on what happens to Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah, guys, let us know what you think. Again, we appreciate when you comment on our videos, when you subscribe to our channel. Hey, look, we give real takes here. Again, the clicky stuff, we could go there. We could talk all about the Colts need to trade Jonathan Taylor today, but that's not us. We like to give just as real as we can be, authentic, and hopefully accurate takes. So, guys, if you like that, make sure to comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for more Colts content. Thanks again for watching, and have a great day.